Life had never been kind to her. Each day was a struggle against the biting cold, the scorching sun, and the gnawing emptiness of an uncertain future. She had no roof over her head, no family to call her own, and no one to share her burdens with. Yet, despite the harshness of her reality, there was a light in her eyes, a spark of hope that refused to be extinguished. Every morning, she woke with a prayer in her heart that somehow, some way, life would offer her a chance to escape the endless cycle of poverty and loneliness. Her days were spent wandering the streets, searching for work, food, or even just a small act of kindness. People often ignored her, a blurred figure in the chaos of the city, yet she never let bitterness take root in her heart. Instead, she offered what she could, a warm smile, a helping hand to other destitute souls, and moments of comfort to anyone who seemed more hopeless than herself. Even children who were starving, old men shivering on cold benches, or stray animals lost in the alleys, she extended compassion wherever she could. Her generosity was not born out of wealth or obligation, it came from the purest part of her heart, an innate goodness that had survived all the hardships life had thrown at her. Despite her resilience, the nights were the hardest. Huddled in corners or under tattered blankets, the weight of uncertainty pressed down on her. Thoughts of what the future might hold often filled her with fear. Would she ever find shelter? Would she ever find someone who saw her not as a beggar, but as a person with a heart capable of love and care? These questions haunted her, yet she never allowed despair to completely overwhelm her. In her solitude, she learned to rely on herself, to cherish small victories, a meal earned through hard work, a compliment from a passerby, or the joy of helping a lost child find their way. What truly set her apart, however, was her unwavering belief in hope. She believed that somewhere, beyond the city's noise and the world's indifference, there was a life waiting for her, a place where she could finally belong. She didn't know that fate had been quietly observing her resilience, waiting for the perfect moment to intervene. Every kind act, every selfless gesture, was unknowingly shaping her destiny. Little did she know, soon her life would take a dramatic turn, not through luck, but through the recognition of the purity and warmth that she carried within herself. Her struggle, though immense, was not in vain. It had molded her into someone strong, compassionate, and ready to embrace a future that was about to arrive in the form of an unexpected encounter, an encounter that would forever change the course of her life. On the outside, he was the picture of success. A tall, impeccably dressed man, exuding confidence, power, and wealth, he had everything society ever tells you to want, a sprawling mansion, luxury cars, a thriving business empire, and a life many envied. Yet behind the polished facade, a storm of loneliness raged quietly, hidden from the world. Since the sudden death of his beloved wife, his home had been filled with silence, interrupted only by the occasional cries of his young children, who struggled to understand why their mother was gone. The mansion, once a place of warmth and laughter, now felt like a cold, echoing prison. He had tried to fill the emptiness with work, delegating his emotions to boardrooms and business deals. His schedule left little room for grief, but the sorrow refused to be ignored. Each night, as he walked past the rooms that used to echo with his wife's laughter, the weight of loss pressed harder on his shoulders. His children, too, bore their own burdens. They had retreated into themselves, refusing to eat, laugh, or connect with the world. No amount of toys, tutors, or attempts at distraction could reach the walls they had built around their hearts. Watching them suffer silently was an agony he could not escape. Despite his wealth, he realized he lacked what mattered most: love, companionship, and a mother figure for his children. He knew the importance of nurturing hearts, something money could never buy. He longed for someone who could understand the fragile dynamics of his household, someone who would love his children unconditionally and bring warmth back into the empty rooms of his home. But finding such a person was no simple task. He feared deceit and selfish intentions. Many had tried to enter his life for wealth or status, and he had learned to be guarded, wary of false smiles and shallow kindness. Yet beneath the pain, there was still hope, a quiet, persistent hope that life had not completely closed its door on happiness. He dreamed of meeting someone genuine, someone whose heart resonated with his own, who could see the world through compassion rather than ambition. Someone who could bring laughter back to his children and remind him that love, even after tragedy, was possible. Little did he know, fate was already preparing to answer his unspoken prayers. The encounter that would transform his lonely life and the lives of his children was closer than he realized. It would not be wealth, status, or power that saved him, it would be the unassuming kindness of a woman whose heart, though weathered by struggle, was exactly what his family needed. Life often works in mysterious ways, bringing people together at the most unexpected moments. For the millionaire and the homeless woman, their worlds were about to collide in a seemingly ordinary setting that neither could have anticipated. One chilly morning, as the woman wandered the streets in search of food and shelter, she noticed a small child crying near a busy marketplace. Without hesitation, she rushed over, instinctively kneeling beside him and offering comfort. Her voice was soft and soothing, her hands gentle yet reassuring. In that instant, she became more than a passerby, she became a lifeline. The child's sobs gradually subsided, and the tension in his little body eased. Passers-by paused to watch the scene, some curious, others indifferent. Among them was the millionaire, who had been running errands nearby, unaware of the emotional turmoil waiting for him just around the corner. When he saw the woman with his child in her arms, calming him with a tenderness he had not witnessed in years, something inside him shifted. He had spent so long searching for someone trustworthy, someone with a heart capable of love, and here, in the most unexpected place, stood a woman whose compassion transcended her circumstances. He approached cautiously, careful not to startle either of them. There was something mesmerizing about her, the quiet strength in her posture, the warmth in her eyes, and the selfless attention she gave to his child. She didn't flinch at his presence, didn't ask for money or recognition, she was simply being herself, completely unaware of the significance of the moment. For the first time in years, he felt hope stirring within him, a fragile yet undeniable sense that perhaps he had found the person he had been searching for. Curiosity drew him closer, and he struck up a conversation, asking her name and listening to her story. She spoke with humility, sharing snippets of her life without complaint or bitterness. Her honesty and resilience struck a chord deep within him. It wasn't just her kindness that captivated him, it was the integrity of her heart, the strength that allowed her to survive hardship while still giving love to others. In that chance encounter, the seeds of a life-changing relationship were sown. What seemed like a simple act of compassion would mark the beginning of a journey neither of them could have predicted. It was a meeting of two souls, one wealthy yet lonely, the other struggling yet pure, whose destinies were about to intertwine in ways that would challenge, inspire, and ultimately transform them both. After several encounters, the millionaire grew increasingly captivated by the woman's gentle nature and the ease with which she connected with his children. Every moment she spent with them, the children's laughter, long absent from the mansion, returned in small, precious bursts. She didn't just feed them or entertain them, she nurtured them, listened to them, and earned their trust in ways he had never been able to. Watching this transformation, he realized that what he had been searching for all along was not just companionship, but someone capable of loving his children as fiercely as he did. One quiet evening, as the three of them sat together in the mansion's garden, the millionaire found himself at a crossroads. His heart, long guarded by grief and caution, whispered that he had found the missing piece of his life. Yet, he knew the proposition he was about to make was extraordinary, almost impossible to comprehend. He had to approach it with care, so that his intentions were clear, yet gentle enough not to overwhelm her. Leaning closer, he spoke softly, almost as if afraid to break the fragile moment. "You need a home, and I need a wife and mother for my children. Come with me." The words hung in the air, heavy with both hope and vulnerability. For a moment, the woman froze. Her mind raced, trying to make sense of the sudden offer. Was it real? Was he truly speaking from the heart, or was this simply an arrangement born of convenience? The question tugged at her, yet beneath the uncertainty, she felt something stir, a spark of possibility, a glimmer of trust. She remembered the cold nights, the loneliness, the constant search for warmth and belonging. Could this be the opportunity she had prayed for in countless silent moments? Yet, fear held her back. Accepting his offer meant stepping into a world she had never known, leaving behind the independence she had clung to for survival. But as she glanced at his children, whose eyes now shone with genuine affection for her, she realized that this was more than just a proposition. It was an invitation to a new life, a chance to create a family, to belong, and to be loved in return. Finally, with a mixture of hesitation and courage, she nodded. That single gesture marked the beginning of a profound journey, one where hearts wounded by past sorrows would gradually heal together. The unexpected proposal was not merely a practical solution to mutual needs, it was a declaration of faith, trust, and the possibility of love that transcended circumstance. From that moment onward, life would no longer be defined by loneliness or struggle, it would be a story of connection, hope, and the transformative power of genuine care. As days turned into weeks, the woman gradually settled into her new life. What had begun as a practical arrangement slowly transformed into something far deeper, a bond of love and trust that neither she nor the millionaire had anticipated. The children, once withdrawn and fearful, began to laugh freely again, their world brightened by her presence. She didn't just become a caregiver, she became the heart of the household, filling spaces that had long been empty with warmth, kindness, and joy. Every meal she prepared, every bedtime story she read, every gentle word of encouragement stitched the family closer together. For the millionaire, witnessing this transformation was nothing short of miraculous. He had spent years building empires, acquiring wealth, and maintaining a facade of success, but none of it had prepared him for the quiet, sustaining love she brought into his life. Her resilience, patience, and selflessness opened his eyes to a kind of happiness he had nearly forgotten existed. Slowly, he realized that his feelings had deepened beyond gratitude or admiration, he was in love with the woman who had rescued not only his children's hearts but his own. Yet, this love was not born from perfection or wealth, it was forged through shared vulnerability and mutual care. The woman, too, discovered that love could flourish in unexpected places. She had entered the millionaire's life with uncertainty, wary of wealth and status, but she found that the true measure of a person lay in their actions, not their fortune. He was not asking her to change who she was, instead, he embraced her compassion, strength, and authenticity. Together, they built a bond rooted in respect and emotional honesty, a bond that weathered challenges and celebrated simple joys alike. As the family continued to grow closer, it became clear that life had given them more than just companionship, it had granted them healing. The children learned to trust again, to express their emotions freely, and to find comfort in their newfound mother's love. The millionaire, once burdened by loneliness, discovered that his heart could open fully again, capable of both giving and receiving love in equal measure. Ultimately, what had started as a chance encounter and a surprising proposal became a story of redemption and hope. It proved that love is not bound by circumstance, wealth, or social standing, it is nurtured through empathy, care, and the willingness to embrace another soul wholeheartedly. In the end, they became more than a family formed by need, they became a family bound by genuine love, proving that even in the most unlikely situations, hearts ready to give and receive love can create a lifetime of happiness together.